I've been thinking a lot recently about the propensity for us to forget where we're going and how so few of us actually have the tools to renegotiate that reality, to really say to ourselves, hey, you know, fine, perhaps we're not headed in exactly the same direction that we thought we'd be headed, but perhaps we can augment it. Perhaps we can redirect our flow, rethink, renegotiate with ourselves where exactly we want to go in life. And I think it's very important to not only humble ourselves and make it so that we're allowed to be wrong, but I think it's also very important to really assess the trajectory of our goals, really assess, what it is that we're trying to accomplish in this life. Adam Grant's book, Think Again, talks about it in a 6-month period. Every half year we should renegotiate. We should understand where we're headed and make sure that we're happy with it. And so recently what's come up in my life is, and this happens a lot. In fact, some of my old videos when I started this channel off, I was talking probably about a similar thing, but it's a cycle in life, and it's an expansion contraction cycle. So basically, I tend to take on a lot of projects, and then by virtue of the conclusions that I come to or the growth that I've gone through, I spend more time on specific ones to get them done, as they have produced the most out of the effort that I've put into them. And my natural tendency is to give you recommendations based on what works for me. So expansion, contraction, I think a lot of people are really good at choosing one thing and then doubling down on it until it works, whereas I'm a bit of an experimenter. So if you find yourself being an experimenter in life, you probably find yourself just naturally taking this approach by virtue of wanting novelty in life, wanting a difference, a change of pace all the time. And so I say to you with the biggest heart, with the most open, humble humility that I can muster, that listen, if you're feeling lost in your goals, in your pursuits, and if you're feeling like they're not panning out the way that you thought they would, first and foremost, I would tell you, what we think we can accomplish in 1 year often tends to be way overshot, and what we think that we can accomplish in 5 years is way undershot. Meaning that whatever it is that you're working on, given enough time and enough persistence, will almost certainly work. That's the first thing that I want to tell you, because I'm telling myself this. The other thing that I want to say is that the most important thing in life is our relationships, is literally how we interact with individuals in our lives. And it could be our parents, it could be a significant other, it could be a good friend, whoever it is, or however many people it is. The depth or the satisfaction that we get out of life is going to always come down to the depth of those relationships, how they make us feel when we're in them, when we're wholly present in those situations. So I hope whatever it is that you're trying to build, at the very least, allows you the time, the comfort to dwell in those moments, to actually take full advantage and of the joys of life. And without that, there's no trajectory is ever going to matter to begin with. So that's second. The third thing I would say is, if you are feeling lost, if you're feeling directionless, or perhaps the things that you have tried to do in your life are not panning out the way that you want them to, we need to go back to the drawing board and really pinpoint what it is that our goal is. Did we set a smart enough goal, meaning quantifiable, meaning It has the components to break down. And have we broken down those components successfully enough to make them daily actionable? Actionable daily. And really that's just an exercise of genuinely going through, and if you've spent the right amount of time to set a goal in the beginning, then you're going to have some sort of number. You're going to have some sort of metrics that you're gunning for. And if you don't, I would suggest having numbers. If it's monetary, having a monetary goal. If it's a growth goal, having a number of likes or subscribers or a weight that you want to reach or amount of calories that you want to consume daily or anything, amount of miles you want to run, whatever it is, there should be a quantifiable goal there. And the cool thing about quantifiable goals is that they're so much more easy to break down. And that's really what we're looking for when it comes to progress. The ability to break down the things into the smallest chunks possible, and then to know that I just need to do this thing every single day in order to move forward. So use these strategies, really, because when it comes down to it, the people that are always going to be the happiest in life are going to be the ones that hit their goals. And the reason that is because that person knows that they are putting in ample effort and that they're getting back what they assumed they would get back from their effort. I mean, really what we're looking for is an amount of control in our life, an amount of discipline in our life that tells us, hey, we are actually worth everything that people say about us, or worth the praise that we give ourselves. So the reassessment comes in when you set a goal, a monetary goal, or a quantifiable goal, better yet, and in the process of trying to achieve that goal, you have somehow fallen below your expectations. So first and foremost, I would say there are reasons why you have fallen below your expectations. It's either probably has to do with whether or not we are improving consistently, whether or not we are actually accelerating our skill set. It has to do with procrastination, how time was spent. A part of it, however, might be that the thing that we're trying to accomplish is necessarily going to take more time. And what I mean by that is some quantifiable goals require a very subjective or very organic growth in order to achieve. And I say this partially to tell myself that we should be setting very, very difficult goals, and it shouldn't be okay to fall below them, but that we should always love ourselves if we do. Because the worst thing to do is to not try. The worst thing to do is to not genuinely attempt to get a little bit better. Ideally daily. But even if it happens weekly or monthly or yearly, I would argue that that's better than trying to not do anything, trying to not change. So one of the goals that I'm falling short on this year is getting 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. So why? Well, partially because frankly I'm not spending that much time and energy in creating these videos, right? It's about 10 minutes of my time and I talk about random shit. So, and I'm not really augmenting too much what I am saying or what I'm doing, and I haven't really augmented what I'm saying, what I'm doing for many, many months. So that necessarily means that I'm not growing in terms of my my ability to communicate, or perhaps my understanding of what the algorithm requires, or perhaps my understanding of human nature. Any of those things, and a little bit more attention to detail, and I would probably have more satisfying videos for y'all. The other thing that I'm falling short on is a monetary goal. My monetary goal is to have $400,000 worth of income yearly. So right now I'm at 300,000. So I'm missing $100,000, and I have about 4 months to make that up. Now there's a couple easy ways I can do this, but tendencies in my life, I like to do things the difficult way. So I think I could still hit that. That's not an issue. In fact, I think I could surpass that. Another goal of mine was to spend more time with people. And also making artwork and music. So one of my quantifiable goals is once a year, I will release an album, which I have hit. However, I did not like the quality of the album that I hit. What does that mean? Do I go back and remaster the tracks? You know, I could, and I almost guarantee that I'd get a better result. But it's not really even about the mastering. It's not about the pruning for me. It's about getting it done. That's what matters to me. And it might not be the ideal approach to getting results in life. And I'm constantly going to be augmenting this and probably fighting against myself to make my approach more efficient in terms of nailing those goals, so I can feel better about myself and the things I say to y'all. But at the same time, guys, like, you gotta be kind to yourself in this life, you know? And kind to yourself doesn't mean being lax. Like, kind means that you know where the pitfalls are, you know what to do. Give yourself the time to do it. Give yourself the time to become the type of person that can do that. And I promise you, life will probably go a little bit better if we just try to approach our goals a little bit more slowly. Give it time. And actualize your potential catalyst. This world needs you. Smash that like button if you made it to the end. I swear, this does not take very much of my attention away from driving. But, alas, my friend, it's a long life, at best. So use it. Take care of yourself.